I will make argument that even fossil energy is solar energy tucked away eons ago. So solar energy is one of the key elements in our sustainable, hopefully, energy future. I will focus predominantly on the average Canadian resident locally here that uses approximately 10,000 kilowatt hours per year. Most consumers have no idea of kilowatt hours. They have a keen sense of dollars, but they don't know the kilowatt hours. Well, your residence, if it is representative of the average consumption, is at around about 10,000 kilowatt hours per year. Simply by comparison, the average German residence is at half of that. So congratulations, Canadian consumers. You are some of the highest electricity consumers in the world, right up there with the Kuwaitis. Talking about electric vehicle driving, and my wife has been driving electric since 11 years now. We're using a budgetary number of about 4,000 kilowatt hours per year if you are predominantly charging at home. So if we want to completely offset your residential electricity consumption, and if we want to offset your driving related electricity consumption, we're targeting somewhere around 14,000 kilowatt hours per year. And can we do that? Well, that very much depends on your building, the orientation of the building, external shading, which roof sizes we can use. But if your building is suitable, then yes, we can make you completely net zero. Net zero means that we are completely eliminating your consumption charge. And imagine going forward, you don't need to stop at a gas station anymore. Maybe except use the restroom or use a car wash. And by the way, it's totally unfair. When you fill up gas, you get a discount on the car wash. When you have an electric vehicle, you don't get a discount on the car wash. So imagine that you, going forward, will not pay any more money at the gas station, and that we eliminate your consumption charge. Your basic account administrative charge will remain as long as you have the privilege of having an account. Meters it out. What that means is you can take summer surplus electricity from solar generation, and you can carry that into winter. You can take daylight solar electricity and use it at night under net metering. 1 kilowatt hour exported equals 1 kilowatt hour imported, which means you have no turnaround losses. I frequently get the question of, why don't you use batteries? Well, batteries cost money. Batteries are chemistry inside, which ages, and batteries have turnaround losses. Net metering functions like a humongous battery because our grid is large, and because 1 kilowatt hour in equals 1 kilowatt hour out, you have no turnaround losses. You have no aging. You're not going into chemistry. So net metering is far superior compared to using batteries. If you want to do a battery-assisted system down the road, the predominant motivator would be the cost of daytime electricity. But just putting it into perspective, people here in Southern Ontario complain about a daytime rate of about 22 cents per kilowatt hour. My German expatriates are paying 50 euro cents per hour. That's 75 cents Canadian per kilowatt hour. So the fine people of Southern California pay a rate much higher than our rate as well. So if and when the cost of daytime electricity gets considerably higher than what it is today, then using a battery bank AC coupled does become an option. And to the degree that you AC couple, you can treat it like a load. So that means you can retrofit without any major complication if and when that time comes. So right now we recommend net metering only and using the grid as your big battery bank without turnaround losses. But to the degree that things change at a later point in time, we can retrofit as well. I cannot give a solar presentation without also mentioning solar thermal. And solar thermal is the technology of taking sun energy, directly turning it into heat and using it to replace energy for domestic hot water. It is, by the way, required by building code in Germany since years. So why Canada is not adapting solar thermal to a much larger degree, I do not understand. We can get peak efficiencies of up to 80% with solar thermal. Coming back very briefly to EV charging, I mentioned the approximately 4,000 kilowatt hours per year if you represent the average driving pattern. Obviously, if you drive more, it would be more, but to the degree that you also charge outside of your own residence, that may be a lower number. It's just a budgetary number to use. And all you need for that is a level 2 charging station, which you can wall hang, and you put it where you typically park your vehicle. I recommend to put your charger inside of your garage, but they're also rated to be hung outside. And with a level 2 charger, you will get a full recharge throughout the night, which means it's kind of like if you have it in conjunction with a solar system, you have your own oil well, your own oil refinery, and everything at home at your disposal. And once you have made your capital investment, your energy cost is zero. The sun does not send the bill. And I welcome any questions. The first question, please.
I know in California they're changing that, right? So you're not getting what they're hoping.
The question is if you are actually getting your monetary value for your solar generation. And I will give you an answer. It's a little bit more involved. Here's what happens when you go to net metering. The utility today is charging you a 3-tier tariff. You have on-peak, mid-peak, and off-peak. They encourage you with less expensive nighttime electricity, and they punish you with more expensive daytime electricity. It's a means of motivating people to shift and such. The accounting system of the utilities is not set up to accommodate net metering in conjunction with a 3-tier tariff. So if you go to net metering, what happens is the utility will put you onto one base tariff. That one base tariff is significantly lower than your daytime rate, and it's a touch higher than your nighttime rate. Okay? So you will have the following phenomenon, even without solar generation, by sheer going to one tariff. If your consumption is primarily daytime, you will actually save money just by having been shifted to a lower tariff. For commercial operations, that could be quite interesting. You be the judge of your own residential consumption pattern. But so the first answer is you will get down to one tariff, substantially lower than daytime and a bit higher than nighttime. The question relates to delivery charge, and you will continue to be charged for delivery for any electricity that crosses the meter. You will be charged for any kilowatt hour that crosses the meter. So that means you will pay delivery charge to electricity exported and electricity imported. However, here is another phenomenon that occurs. To the degree that you solar generate as you are consuming, you will be immediately offsetting that load. The term is load offset. And electricity that is not crossing the meter is not visible to the utility. It is like that load does not exist because your solar generation is immediately offsetting that load, and that, from the perspective of the grid, becomes zero load, and for that you will not pay distribution charge. So the distribution charge will be reduced, it will not be zero. Your basic administrative charge will remain. However, if you are in 1 year generating as much as you are consuming, your consumption charge will actually be zero. And that is the largest part of your charge. Any more questions?
So, just to clarify, if you go to net metering, you're on a new tariff, it's 24 hours a day, and it's significantly less than the daytime tariff, and you're getting this 24 hours, and it's just slightly above the lowest night time.
That is correct. That is correct. You will be on one flat charge, which is the same 24 hours. And it is noticeably lower than your daytime high, and it's a touch higher than your nighttime. And the question now becomes, what is your consumption pattern? And having mentioned the load offset, you are now motivated to do exactly the opposite of what the utility is trying to motivate you today. But to the degree that you are actually consuming as you are solar generating, that does not cross the meter, that is immediately offset, which means you are now, at least to that degree, autonomous. And only if you are generating more than you consume will that electricity be exported across the meter, and the same the other way around. Now, we do not have solar generation at night, so that we cannot avoid, but the biggest seasonality is really between summer and winter, and you can take summer surplus electricity into winter because you have this 12 months rolling window that your credit is actually viable. And so all we need to do is look at your annual consumption. We will also motivate you to look at where can you improve, where can you actually increase efficiency. And personal consumption pattern can have a significant influence as well. So we will motivate you to have a lower overall electricity consumption, and electricity that you are not consuming, we do not need to generate. So ultimately, you want to look at what is my consumption and how can I lower this, and what can I have in solar generation, and how can I increase that, and can I roll my transportation in there or not. And ideally, we would like to offset completely your residential consumption and then at least charge for one electric vehicle. My wife has been driving electric since 11 years. Most of my children learned driving purely electric, and to my best of knowledge, neither of my two boys has ever filled up gasoline into a vehicle. Can be done, it's not painful.
So just a quick follow-up. Does it become actually financially viable to just go to net metering even if you're not generating? Like just install a net meter just to get that reduced tariff? Would that actually happen?
To my best of knowledge, the utility would require you to actually have a solar system to go to net metering. But thank you for bringing up the point of financial attractiveness. If we can make the solar system large enough to offset all of your consumption under good conditions, we can get you to a return on investment of between 9 and 10% per year, which means in terms of simple payback, over a 10 to 11 year period, the system has paid for itself. Okay, so that in itself makes it very financially attractive and viable. There is a federal program called Greener Homes. And under the Greener Homes program, if you do qualify for it, they are offering an interest-free loan, repayable after 10 years, of up to $40,000 Canadian. Typically, that amount will pay for your capital investment cost, and if you save your savings over the 10 years, that in simple terms will pay back for the loan. So it's a very attractive program. It takes the financial pain out of making this investment. And yes, a solar system is capital intensive at the very beginning. It's front loaded. Your operational cost is zilch, but it is front loaded because of your capital investment. However, in general terms, under good conditions, it pays for itself over 10 to 11 years, and it has a useful life of 35 to 40 years. So, in difference to your home entertainment system or your marble countertop, it actually has a positive return on investment. By the way, your beautiful BMW has a highly negative return on investment. So please don't challenge me on the cost of an investment in renewable energy that does pay for itself. I'll be happy to take more questions.
Hello. Sorry.
You're also welcome to come to our booth, and we have a really charming lady who will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Yes, Tanya is looking in her computer. Thank you very much for the insights. As mentioned, you'll be here all day until 4, so thank you. More questions, please go see him at Green Sunrise booth.